Well, the hard thing about it is obviously this is not what we picture when the schedule comes out. You look around and you say, okay, it'd be nice to be here around this time of the year, but 1-8 is definitely frustrating. I feel like right now the staff is holding up pretty well. I feel like the players are doing the best that they can possibly do. At this point right now, it's about finishing. It's about pride. It's about the seniors. It's about making sure that we finish on a positive note. And obviously, every single Saturday is the next opportunity that presents itself. And we feel like this Saturday going down to Florida Atlantic is another opportunity to find a way to put together 4 quarters of football, of WKU style football, a winning brand of football.
Do you find yourself, I think you do this all the time, but is the awareness level heightened because of where you guys stand? That you just mentioned the players' effort, it's there. They want to be coached, but at the same time, I want to use the phrase, don't kick them when they're down. And I'm not saying literally kick them. You know where I'm going at with that? Do you find yourself trying to balance when to coach them up and then also to give them a pat on the back and say, hey, keep plugging along, we're getting there?
You definitely have to be very careful on the words that you're using and the way that you're using the phrases. But as long as the kid knows that you care about him as a player and as a person and that nothing is personal, I think they understand where you're coming from. Did I get mad yesterday watching the tape? Absolutely, with the players. Was I super nice guy? No, but I was honest. And we got to let our players know. I think as long as you're honest with them and you show them that you care about them as a player and a person, I think that they can understand that as long as it's not personal. At this time, I think that's when you can possibly lose a player if you kind of get too personal. But as long as you're trying to get them better, I think they understand where you're coming from as a coach at this level.
So you're going up against one of the best running backs in the country this weekend. And after the problems you had on Friday night, what are some changes that you have to make prepping for FAU?
Yep, Singletary definitely, and the other running back presents a different kind of problem. 44 for middle was a bigger guy. He kind of popped one big run on us, but this guy, Singletary and White, are both two guys that are hard to touch and hard to tackle at the same time. So I think it's going to take a group effort. Our guys are going to watch the tape. They're going to, it's on the film. Last year I feel like we did a good job for 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter he kind of let loose. But that's what this football team is about. That's what FAU is. They're going to get you tired and then try to finish you with one of those 2 guys.
Does that at all help that you've gone against Singletary before?
I think it does. Because you kind of know exactly their style. You kind of know what they depended on, and especially late in games. The past 2 years, late in the season, late in games, is kind of when I feel like he's played his best football, and that's when he can definitely create some problems for defenses and other teams.
They've got guys near the top of the conference in passing and receiving as well. How important is it to make sure you stay focused on that passing game as well?
Yes, you definitely have to. They have wideouts. They have number 7. The transfer from, I think, West Virginia. He's a good player. They have Willie Wright, who definitely catch a lot of those little passes that they call passes. They're more like flicks, so those counts as passes. But that's a lot of their passing yards, and they will toss the ball down the football field. So those are really like runs. You got to fit those like runs, and understanding that your motion responsibility and your jet responsibility is going to be key, because they love to move those guys around. They don't just stay outside and catch balls down the field. They catch balls as well off the jets and motion and stuff. So you got to be really dialed into it.
I can imagine you had to feel a little encouraged after Friday night with the stops your defense was able to get instead of giving up touchdowns in the red zone.
Yes, you're right. Obviously the previous week we didn't do that against, I can't remember who we played, but don't matter. But we didn't get that done, and we didn't stay in the football game. The preaching thing is points. Red zone, 3rd down in the red zone is critical, probably the most critical down for offense and defense. And we feel like if you can just force field goals, if they make them a miss, you're keeping us in the game, you give us an opportunity. And our guys was talking about that on the sideline, and that is growth. I think we just got to continue that and continue to preach that to our guys, and eventually one day it's gonna all click, and then we'll be rolling.
Clayton,
Yep.
I asked Mike this about the team collectively, but on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to test your memory. From the time of the first game against Wisconsin to now, has there been a couple of players on defense that you think have really improved by leaps and bounds in a way that makes the coach proud?
Absolutely. Testing my memory, I have a really good memory, but I can take you all the way back. But yes, I think individually, just from a technical standpoint, I say Drell Green. Because Gerald Green is kind of a flashy player, but at safety, you got to be ultra disciplined. And I think that's over the past 2 or 3 weeks, he's became a little bit more disciplined. He's getting closer and closer to the ball. And I think that improvement right there has really helped us, just as a defensive as a whole, just to be able to run the thing that we want to run. So I think that's one. The second guy I would say is Jalen George. Jalen George and Juwan Jones, those 3 guys, to me, have improved the most on our defense as far as, making plays, being productive, being where they're supposed to be at. But the number 1 guy, I would have to say is Jalen George, for sure. No, there's no doubt about it.
And I do think you have a real good memory. But those 3,
Yes.
getting into that, how much, that improvement, how much does it have to do with them wanting to be coached and coachability?
It's all of that. I mean, there's not one play at practice for the past 2 years where myself or Coach DeBerry hasn't said something to Gerald Green. There's not been one snap where Coach Martin or Coach Lindsey hasn't said a thing to Juwan Jones or Jalen George. And those guys just look at you with these bright eyes, and it's like in their mind, you can see them taking notes in their mind. You can see them, jotting down little, sticky notes. You can see them just remembering that stuff, and their retention is really good. And I think that says a lot to a player as far as his coachability. If you say something to a player in week 2 and you come back and say it again in week 5 and he doesn't remember that tells me something as that player. But when you say something in week 9 that you said in week 2 and he's like, yes, I remember that play, and that makes you feel great as a coach. You're like, okay, we're on the right track. These kids love football. They want to, they want to win. They want to be great. But that's just a good example of that for you.
Clayton, I've been wanting to ask this for a couple of weeks, but you have been a defensive coordinator now, I believe, for 22 games.
Yes.
22 games. You could pick one thing that you've learned about being a defensive coordinator on this day, November 5th, now that you've been in the trenches. What have you learned?
That's a fantastic question. Just so you know, I've learned something new every single day. That's been the craziest thing about being a coordinator as you start in your young coordinating careers. I think I've learned something new every single day, as far as from watching tape or just learning something different about the game, because you're looking at it from a different light as a coordinator. But the most important thing that I would say is offenses normally don't run the play that they always run. Like, that's not going to be their lead thing. So you got to really find what they haven't ran as much and make sure you focus on that, because there's a chance that's coming out, versus seeing the analytics and saying this is what they do every time on first down. That's not going to happen. So you got to be ready for the other plays. And then the most thing I learned is just how to adjust on the sideline within a game, within a series. I think when I got here, I understood the adjustment element of coaching. But after we played EKU the first game, we had 56 yards in the first half. They came out with 270 or something in the second half, showing you my memory right there. And that kind of made me think right there, like, okay, the adjustment element is critical. If you're stopping a team, they're going to change. And then, so that means you may need to be ready to change, and vice versa.
Can I just go follow up? The adjusting part, Clayton, I know how hard you work and the preparation and all the video and scouting reports you have available. When it comes to the adjustments, how many times do you just go by gut instinct, what you have learned in this game from the time you were a kid?
It's different because when you're a kid, you just out there playing. But now once the coaching career kind of started, I would say 50% of it's probably gut. Hey, we should do this the next time they do this formation. Let's check to this. And then it works, and you stop a play, you put a play to bed.
Thanks.
Thank you.